Hello friends, one and all. Join us, won't you, as we recall Christmas films from years gone by, from genres horror, action, and sci-fi. And although it's only December 7th, season's tidings will be... Crap, what rhymes with 7th? 11th? Alright, screw it, sorry guys, Christmas is canceled, I ruined the poem.
Whoa, you can't cancel Christmas or the holidays just because your poem sucked.
Ow.
Look, just repurpose the Not Quite Christmas Movies package from a few years ago. It's lazy and on brand.
Well,
eh?
If it's lazy. Christmas is back on!
Yay!
Hooray! Every new December is a chance to dust off old copies of holiday classics and bask in the warm glow of nostalgia and Yuletide cheer, preferably with a warm drink in hand and cozy slippers on feet. The list of go-to Christmas films is ever growing, from familiar classics like Miracle on 34th Street and It's a Wonderful Life, to more recent fares such as Elf or Daddy's Home 2. What says holiday cheer more than Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson?
It's still tough enough to lick you, Junior.
Sure, those movies are great and they're classic, but what if you're sick of elves, Santa, and Jimmy Stewart, and are more in the mood for something with explosions, cursing, or suave British spies who slam hard liquor? James Bond doesn't regularly order an eggnog, shaken not stirred, but if he were going to, 1969's On Her Majesty's Secret Service would be the film he'd do it in. Australian model George Lazenby donned the tuxedo of Agent 007 for the 6th film in the franchise, taking over for Sean Connery, and odd-jobbly enough, the film is set around Christmas time. It even features its own holiday tune, Do You Know How Christmas Trees Are Grown, which underscores a number of scenes in the film, and it bangs. In 1984, Gremlins introduced the world to incredibly cute and cuddly Mogwai, a race of furry little corporate studio marketing employees that came with a list of restrictions and rules longer than a parking sign on Melrose Avenue. The film follows the antics of the mischievous little titular monsters as they wreak havoc on a small town at Christmas time. Produced by Steven Spielberg, the horror comedy is filled with classic practical effects and dark humor, but what cements it as a holiday classic is watching a man in a Santa Claus suit being mauled to death by the horrible little creatures in what is inarguably the most disturbing scene ever put to film. A year later, Sylvester Stallone debuted Rocky IV, which, many seem to forget, includes multiple scenes featuring heavy holiday imagery. Don't believe me? Well, you've got some nerve, pal. Rocky's training montage takes place in the deep, heavy snow of Russia's mountains surrounded by pine trees. Oh, but Pat, that's a bit of a stretch. Haha, well, did you know Rocky's final match against Ivan Drago takes place on Christmas Day? It does. Also, Rocky's unforgettable speech after defeating Drago that literally ended the Cold War and ushered in an era of peace and harmony the world had never seen before, ends with the boxer wishing his son back home a Merry Christmas. And if all of that isn't proof enough for you, Seiko, the film's lovable robot, was clearly made by technologically advanced elves. Tim Burton may be known for offering a quirkily dark tone in his films, but he's also no stranger to the holidays. A Nightmare Before Christmas is a December, and October, staple in many households, especially ones with multiple cats. And even Edward Scissorhands takes place around Christmas time. But the director's 1992 film Batman Returns is a movie that rarely seems to come up in holiday conversations, and that's a travesty. In addition to the obvious fact that the film's main villain is the Penguin, the most wintry of all bat foes, it also features Catwoman and Batman sharing a moment under the mistletoe, and a Burton-esque Christmas tree lighting scene that gets interrupted by an enormous exploding gift filled with murderous clowns. You won't see that in Whoville. Long before he was Deadpool, but after he was Van Wilder and one of the two guys with a girl in a pizza place, Ryan Reynolds was the chubby kid in high school with a crush on the popular cheerleader in 2005's Just Friends. While the film initially wasn't a hit, it has become something of a cult classic, probably because it's the best movie ever. Set on the days surrounding Christmas, everything from the costumes, the setting, and the particularly strong soundtrack ooze Christmas cheer. Throw in Anna Faris's superb performance as an over-the-top pop diva singing lyrics like, "Small people, they come and go. Small people, they just don't know." And you have yourself a holiday classic. Samantha James. The best example of a filmmaker who seems to be obsessed with Christmas but has never just made a full-on holiday pick has to be Shane Black. The director began his infatuation with the happiest season of all way back in 1987, when he penned the script for Lethal Weapon, the buddy cop masterpiece starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Although the film came out in March, it is set at Christmas time, which is something Black also did with 2013's Iron Man 3, which came out in May but was full of fluffy white snow, jolly Christmas tunes, and a giant stuffed rabbit the size of which only Tony Stark could afford. And for those who are looking to spend their holidays with Robert Downey Jr. but don't want to see his pretty face hidden behind an iron mask for half of the movie, Black's 2005 comedic noir mystery Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is also set at Christmas time. Of course, no list about Christmas movies would be complete without mentioning the jolliest of them all, Die Hard. The action classic takes place on Christmas Eve, when a group of German terrorists take an office Christmas party hostage. So yes, it is a Christmas movie. Can we finally put that argument to bed, please? Look, if watching John McClane pick off terrorists while muscling his way through a crawl space doesn't inspire you to spike some eggnog and duct tape a candy cane to your back, then frankly, you don't deserve a Christmas tree. What are your favorite not quite Christmas movies? Harry Potter, Little Women? Let us know in the comments right down there, and join us here every Friday morning for new episodes of Heat Vision Breakdown. Happy holidays, everybody. It's the first week of December.